This perp back with another video, and I just got done watching episode 7 of Vinland Saga, and things are getting really interesting. This was kind of a, I wouldn't consider it filler, but, a very, very interesting episode. I'll get into that very shortly, but, this episode pretty much starts off with them pretty much explaining where the story is at. We see that the Vikings and the Danes are kind of pretty much pulling out of the war to certain parts of England because this battle between them and England has been going on for some time now. They said several years. So, they want to continue next summer. So they want to give some time to everybody, for everybody to rest and whatnot and get ready for another battle. But meanwhile, Asclad and his people and Thorfinn, they're off doing their own thing. And, Asclad, I think Asclad was honestly just bored. So he comes around, he comes to find this English base, and he sees that the Franks are trying to infiltrate this base, and he gets the idea to use Thorfinn to send a message to the Franks to help them out supposedly, but really they Asclad just wants the treasure that's there, and I really like how Thorfinn pretty much talks back to Asclad, where nobody else in his crew really does that, and he's kind of seeing what he's become. Like he's realized that he's killed so many people, and what's the point of going down to this area and killing more people? And Asclad pretty much tells him, all you have to do is bring me back ahead if you want this reward and whatnot. And Asclad pretty much sends Thorfinn off to meet with the leader of the Franks, the French. He's just like short Napoleon. He's like this short dude. I don't know if that has anything to do with like Napoleon or anything, but he's like this short, fat dude, very, very big-headed. He has a huge ego, and just is full of himself. And he's ready to cut off Thorfinn's head off right there for playing around with him. He doesn't really believe him, but Thorfinn is able to make a deal with the Franks and whatnot, and so the Franks go into battle the next morning. And of course, Asclad and his people are kind of late, and I don't know how this is possible, but you have all these men just fucking carrying these boats and shit towards the sea, which is really fucking, it's insane. It's really insane. I hope I didn't miss anything, but I just liked how Asclad kind of pretty much pulled the rug with under them. They killed everybody in that little village, like all the men that were holding down that village. Thorfinn got his head, got one of the leaders' heads, and all for a little bit of treasure. I think Asclad was kind of just bored at that moment, and he just wanted to have some fun, since they're not supposed to go into any real battle until next summer or whatnot. And it's really interesting, and I love the ending where where Thorfinn has the head, and he goes up to Asclad and he's like, yo, I challenge you, and he gives him his whole like, I am the son of Thor speech and stuff. And I really love that, and you can see the frustration on Thorfinn's face. Like, this guy's playing games. He's really like pretty much disrespecting me. And Asclad, he's just pretty much using Thorfinn up to this point. Doesn't really care if he gets killed in battle. He pretty much puts him in these situations where he doesn't think he'll survive. He thinks he always thinks he's going to die, pretty much. But I think eventually it's going to end up blowing up in Askeladd's face, you know, when he realizes that, oh, this kid is serious. But a part of me believes that Askelad actually likes Thorfinn, like keeping him around and seeing how he's developing. Because if you remember in the episode where Askelad and Thor fought, Thor asked him, like, what do you have? He's like, I have nothing. I have no family or whatnot. And, you know, he might be trying to take Thorfinn under his wing or might see him as a son in some type of way. But that's my episode review of episode 7. Stay tuned for next week. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you like this episode. And I'll check y'all out next week, man. This show is getting really good. But, you know, till next time. Peace.
What made that comedian different from that comedian? And it was the strength, the inner strength, the style, the confidence they had, not being afraid to fail. And if I can transcend that to a lot of people, whatever, it might not be comedy. It might be in the workplace. To give them that drive, that's when I Ain't Scared of You came from. You know, you can't be afraid.